All right, so today I need to show you guys some information about the argumentative essay. So far in this class, we wrote the narrative essay, and we've also been reading some articles about stress, about mindfulness, and about habits. So we've been talking about how our habits, good or bad, can shape our life and how we feel and our body's response to stress. We're also working on a presentation about the science of happiness, where you guys are going to teach each other during those last few class sessions in December. You're going to teach each other ways that are scientifically proven to make somebody feel happier. And you're going to be presenting research. That means you're going to take facts, science, and information and share it to the class. Well, we need to do another bit of research where you're going to take some facts, probably from the Power of Habit, maybe from a couple of those articles about mindfulness, because our final essay in this class is going to be a research essay where we need to incorporate some MLA quotations. We need to know how to quote and make a bibliography. If we're going to borrow somebody else's words, then we need to tell where they're coming from so we can give credit, okay? That's called citations. I'm going to show you an example today. This video is about the argumentative essay. So I want to show you a presentation about what is the argumentative essay, just like we learned what is the narrative essay. And then I want to show you an example. The examples about the essays today, they have nothing to do with mindfulness or stress or habits. They're actually about energy drinks, like are energy drinks healthy? Should they be sold, yes or no? But what I want you to notice is the format. The format of what are the parts of a research essay, argumentative essay. We know the format of a narrative essay. It has a lot of descriptions. It has a message for the reader. It evokes strong feelings. Now we're going to move on to this argumentative essay. Argument means fighting. So we have some boxing gloves there. Let's get ready to rumble. That means let's get ready to fight. Okay. I love this handouts from another teacher named Miss Laura Randazzo. And she's really good at technology, so she made this online presentation for us. All of these documents will be posted under Writing Tools in Google Classroom, so you can rewatch these presentations on your own. Normally in class, we would watch this together, but let's take a look. I'm going to pause at the appropriate moments, just like I would in class, to tell you what I think is important here. All right, argumentative writing. Rumble. Argumentative writing. First, why should we bother? Well, here's the video of this guy. I don't need to play it for you, but if you go on Google Classroom, you can see it. This guy is basically saying we need to say things in a strong way with conviction. If you want to convince people to agree with you, if you want to convince them that you're right or that you have good ideas, in this case, we're going to do it by presenting evidence, quotes from The Power of Habit and other class materials. If you want somebody to agree with you, you can't say it like in a soft way. I think that if you change your habits for maybe 21 days, the habit, oh, I don't know. No, you have to be strong. There are 3 steps to creating a habit loop. There's a cue, a reward, and a routine. You have to be confident. If you say, I think people might make habits when they have rewards, but I'm not sure because, but that child, no. We want to sound smart and confident, okay, so that people agree with us. That's argumentative writing. You're going to tell them why you're right and they're wrong, but you're going to do it in a really respectful way. So as this guy was saying, it's not enough to question authority. Why do we do something? You have to speak with it too. If you want somebody to believe you and to agree with you, which is the goal of writing an argumentative essay with research, if you want them to agree with you and believe you, you have to sound smart. You have to present the information in a way that's going to be convincing to them. So you have opinions, right? This is your chance to be heard, to be right, to win the debate. And basically what you're seeing here, this is what English 101 is. Opinions, stating opinions, critical thinking. Okay? Getting ready for English 101, English 101X. Maybe you want to take English 47A. But we're practicing our critical thinking. The argumentative essay is a really good example of critical thinking because you're taking facts and making them match your beliefs. Okay, we see that a lot in the news, especially with election season. So let's see where you stand. For 3 topics, okay, this is telling us to write a sentence stating whether you agree or disagree along with one reason why. This functions better in a brick and mortar classroom when we can have participation, but we'll go ahead and see what the questions are and I'll kind of fly through them. Here we go. Should schools stop buying textbooks and instead spend their funds on electronic sources and educational tools? Notice the question. Should someone do something? We're going to have our answers be a strong yes, I agree with it. That's called pro, P-R-O. Or perhaps a strong no, I do not agree with it. That is called con. Should schools stop buying textbooks and instead spend their funds on electronic sources and educational tools? Sure. I would say yes, because we're in the coronavirus, okay? So then I would need to write an essay telling you why. Here's another one. Oh. Should the sale of energy drinks, such as Monster and Red Bull, be prohibited to people under age 18? If you think yes, they should be prohibited, you're pro. You agree with this. If you think no, they should not be prohibited, anybody can buy whatever they want, you're con. You do not agree with it. Today we're going to read example essays about energy drinks, okay? I said it's not that related to the class, but technically energy drinks does have to do with your health. Energy drinks have a lot of stimulants that can increase your heart rate. This is not good for stress or anxiety. It could technically be related, but we're going to read about this today. So we're going to see actually an essay that agrees with this statement and one that disagrees. So you can see what it's like to see both sides of the same argument and see how they do it, how they use the same information to argue different points. We could pretty much take any information out there and twist it to make it sound like it is supporting what we say. You see a lot of that on TV these days. You see a lot of that in the news, everywhere. People twist stuff up. That's technically called quoting, but they're not doing it in an academic way. We're going to learn how to do quotations in an academic way, taking somebody else's words to support our own, but of course we're going to give credit to this person. I'm just going to skip that. Okay, so basically this is great. Figuring out where you stand is done. Now you have to prove that you're right. Okay, so energy drinks. Should people under age 18 be banned from buying energy drinks? Yes, they should be banned from buying it, Let's tell people why. Oh, they're unhealthy, they're expensive. What if you think, no, I'm con. I don't care about energy drinks. I don't care if kids buy it. It's up to their parents. Why? Because parents should be in charge, not the government. That would be con. You can take any side, anything basically that you could fight about, argue with someone about, is an excellent topic for research, for argumentative essay. But how are we going to do this? Well, when we write an argumentative essay, we need 4 really important parts. We need a claim, reasons, evidence, and a counterclaim. I'm going to tell you what all these things are. We basically need, this is what I'm asserting to be true. If I was writing about habits, if I was writing about habits, perhaps my essay was going to be, I am going to convince you with this essay that human beings can change any habit in 1 month. That's my claim. The reasons, I'm going to use all the reasons, the evidence from that good book, The Power of Habit. I'm going to use quotes from there to show how people like Eugene and Lisa changed a habit. That would make people agree with me. That would be evidence. And then the counterclaim, okay? So there's a format, there's a structure. These 4 parts will create your argumentative essay. First thing, claim your stance on an issue. Are you pro or con? Do you agree or disagree? It has to be bold. You have to pick yes or no. No, kind of, I'm not sure. You have to pick pro or con simply just to be able to do the arguing. Even if you don't really believe in that topic, just pick a side, because that's what you need to do to be able to complete the format, okay? As we mentioned, excellent topics for argumentative essays where you're convincing somebody are things that 2 reasonable people can have an argument about. This is also known as a thesis, okay? Basically, I'm stating this, and I want you to agree with me and to believe me. This is why. We see that right now during the elections, right? Democrat and Republican people. Hi, I'm a politician. I'm a Democrat. I think you should vote for the Democratic candidate because blah, 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 blah. That's all the good things they did, evidence. And also the other person's bad, blah, 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 evidence. That's everything they did that's bad. That's why you shouldn't vote for them. A political campaign commercial is basically like a mini argumentative essay, truly, okay? And you could do the same for the other side, right? The Republican candidate, it really doesn't matter. It's just picking a stance. Okay, reasons. That's the main ideas or points that led to your claim. Think of these as large areas. You want examples that are coming from large areas simply because, my friends, it's going to be easier for you to find examples if they're more general. When we go too specific, then sometimes we can't find those examples and quotes, and it's just not helpful. So we want to make sure we're thinking large. We can think about things like historical precedent, personal experience in your life, ethical considerations, that means if something's right or wrong, financial effects, and lots of other reasons you think the way you do. We're going to see examples of these in the pro and con essay about energy drinks today. Okay, then we need evidence. What is evidence? Evidence is facts that support your claim. Research and cite reliable sources. Be sure to explain to your reader how the evidence proves your point. It's not enough to just list interesting data and facts. You need to connect the research to your claim with solid argumentation and voice. That just means you basically need to sound confident when you're trying to convince somebody to agree with you. Okay, so this is also telling us when you're taking a quote from a reliable source, we're going to probably be taking quotes from The Power of Habit. That's reliable because it's a published book. It's not just a random website that somebody's grandma made. We know it's verified. But we can't just list the facts, and you don't want to just put a random quote in there if you're just talking about something and then I randomly read 75% of Americans have chronic stress. What? Think about a conversation. If you were talking to a friend, you would glide and ease a topic in, just like you would do with evidence or a quote. You wouldn't just be talking about the presidential election with your friend and then in the middle of it say, you know, oranges are the best fruit ever. If you did that, people would be confused. We don't really do that when we talk, but we do it when we write, I think because we get nervous and we just really want it to be correct. So we have to throw that info in there. But we need to make sure we're following the format and working in information, as we'll see with the examples, so that it's clear and makes sense. Okay, the last part is called a counterclaim. What is a counterclaim? Oh, a counterclaim is only something that you do to show that you're smart and have thought deeply about an issue by acknowledging the strongest point your opponents will likely make and then immediately take them down. Okay? Counterclaim means you have to know what the other side is talking about and basically tell them that they're wrong before they get a chance to give you that information. For example, with the, I don't know, the political things, right? What if somebody is like, you should vote for President Mickey Mouse because he is going to be the best. He's better than Donald Duck because he's just friendly, and the evidence shows that Donald Duck is grumpy. We don't want that guy as a president. Okay? Then I can come on Donald Duck's team, right? Maybe Donald Duck could say, you know what? This would be a counterclaim example. I am going to defend my client, Donald Duck. Donald Duck would make the best president Disney World has ever seen. Although some people like Mr. Mickey Mouse would say Donald Duck is grumpy. He is not. He's just misunderstood. He's pensive. He's a deep thinker and an intellectual duck. Blah, 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 whatever. Basically, people think that Donald Duck is grumpy. So you need to beat them to it. Oh, yeah, I know you're going to say blah, 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 but you're wrong. You're making people believe you because you're showing that you thought about all sides of an argument, not only your side, but the opposing points, okay? Because you look informed and educated. Nobody likes it if you're just talking down to them and saying, I'm right, you're wrong, change your mind. You have to ease people into that and help them agree with you. You have to help them make the decision that they want to agree with you. We're never going to force somebody to agree with us, but we could invite them to listen to what we have to say. Maybe they'll change their mind, maybe they won't. All right. Counterclaim, we did this guy. I'm going to provide you with some templates, just like we have sentence templates in they say, I say. We're going to also have some templates for the format of this essay. We're going to have an introduction with stuff in the middle and a conclusion. We'll see examples of that. This is telling about the counterclaim is you're briefly summarizing your opponent's strongest argument against you, and then quickly squash the point with your own strong rebuttal, reason, and evidence. That means squash the second part. You're saying your opponent's strongest argument against you, like we mentioned, and saying why it's wrong. The counterclaim, we're going to see examples in the energy drinks essay. They're very brief, very, very brief, as in one sentence or so. More than 2 sentences of a counterclaim is too much. You just want to show people, hey, I know there's people out there that disagree with me, and that's fine, but I'm still right. This is showing counterclaims are usually added towards the end of an essay. Now you're like, got them hooked, you got them pretty much agreeing with you, and before you let them go on their way, you need to say, hey, some other people are going to tell you I'm wrong, and this is what they're going to say, but don't listen to them. I'm still right. Goodbye. They're showing another approach where people can put counterclaims like at the beginning of a paragraph and tell why it doesn't work. We're not going to focus as much on the counterclaim in this class. We're going to do it, but we want to focus more on the use of the MLA format, quotations, and how to structure an argument with that claim. That's the most important for us. Okay, so we're going to go back and see how 2 different writers would have handled that topic about energy drinks. Let's see if this video works. It's a news story. Sometimes I have problems with that video. Okay, if I can't get that news video, I can tell you what it's saying. Basically.
A big health alert tonight about our kids and the growing appetite for energy drinks. In fact, those supercharged drinks are the fastest growing products on the beverage shelf, $9 billion a year. So what does that much caffeine do to human bodies, especially younger ones? Here's Sharon Alfonsi.
Oh, no, what did I do? Messed it up. Let's see.
A big health alert tonight about our kids and the growing appetite.
I'll drink a 5-hour paper or something like that.
Especially younger ones. Here's Sharon Alfonsi.
With names like Full Throttle, Monster, and Rockstar, it's no wonder kids are drawn to energy drinks.
Like I have like 7 pages of a paper or something like that. I'll drink that. I'll drink a 5-hour energy and it'll get me through.
But researchers say some energy drinks may be giving young users unsafe amounts of caffeine. Doctors say there were twice as many cases of caffeine toxicity, kids overdosing on caffeine, as there were adults. Some kids say they drink more than 1 energy drink a day, but doctors say just 1 can could have an effect.
Sometimes you can actually see their heart beating quickly through their clothes, and they feel very, very anxious and upset.
You can see their heart beating through their clothes.
Especially, yes.
Doctors say typically anyone under 18 should have no more than 100 milligrams of caffeine a day. A Coke has about 35 milligrams. A cup of coffee, 100. Energy drink Monster has 160 milligrams, the same caffeine as 4 Cokes. Jolt, roughly the equivalent of drinking 8 Cokes.
It's over the counter, nobody's regulating it, and anybody can get it.
The FDA does limit caffeine to 71 milligrams per 12 ounce of soda, but the study authors say energy drinks get around the rule by calling their product a supplement, not a soft drink. The American Beverage Association says they don't believe that many kids are drinking energy drinks. The caffeine is tested and energy drinks are safe. You think that would be safe for a 12-year-old to drink a Jolt energy drink with 280 milligrams of caffeine?
Yeah, I think, again, it's up to the 12-year-old to understand, what their tolerance levels are, what their sensitivities are, if any.
Fueling an already energetic debate. Sharon Alfonsi, ABC News, New York.
All right. So basically, that video we're going to see in the essays we're about to read, that video is going to be a source as well. They're going to take some quotes from different sources like websites in the video, but they're going to use that as evidence because those news anchors were saying that energy drinks, they actually hurt some people, they killed some people, and they also told us that high quantity of not only sugar, but also of caffeine. And we're thinking about the impact of that on a smaller body. So I'm going to end this video here. This was our introduction to the format of the argumentative research essay. I will continue with another video where we see an example for a pro and con. Thank you very much.